first map of today to go the way of Fnatic. It was Cobblestone and a 16-14 after various ups and downs. We did manage to get that first map done and dusted. And talking of dust, that's where we're going next. Dust 2 will be our second map of the series. Now, it's an interesting one. It does seem like it's very difficult to put any sort of depth to Fnatic's analysis right now. I mean, you have some great stuff for VP, Chad, but with Fnatic, you said, I mean, let's just run with them for a moment, Henry.
Okay.
You said they have 3 good maps.
Yeah.
Dust 2 and Cobble were on that list.
And Cash.
And Cash.
Yeah.
Where are you pulling that from? Is that something they've said in interviews, or
so
is
yeah,
there,
like
is
I
there
said,
stats?
we interviewed like Rose, so we were kind of talking about how they're approaching their game right now. They're not going to any events. They're focusing on just getting the, well, this was a couple of weeks ago, right? So the idea, sorry, just getting some interesting info there. So yeah, they said those are the maps they're focusing on right now. They want to get those solid, and then they'll expand from there. So Dust 2 makes sense, Cash makes sense. They're probably in terms of the fundamentals of the game, that's the map probably everyone knows how to play the most. It's one of the maps as well you can rely heavily on individual performances and just a basic team approach. So this makes sense for them to allow their big players to have these kind of maps. Dennis is an absolute beast on this map, especially on the pistol rounds. So it kind of makes sense, right, to have that as your first stepping stone as being a solid team.
Is that kind of something you would directly agree with, Chad? That it is, and this has always been the opinion, is that Dust 2 is the aimers map. The kind of the less strategy is necessary to find success. Would you agree with that, or there is definitely depth to be found on Dust?
It's a great idea to start with the basics. It's like basically a whole new team. They only got 2 guys left from the original roster, and then they've thrown in some unknown quantities here. So definitely that's a spot on point.
But the map by nature, I'm suggesting, like, is the map by nature, does it favour just good aim, strong aimers, and you don't need so much strategy?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's definitely some depth to it. I think a lot of teams, especially with the executes these days, have developed into quite an interesting kind of approach now. We obviously got the smoke down CT spawn, the 2 smokes towards the long crossover, and then you're able to like almost lock in the AWP player. Like it's not as easy to hold it for an AWP anymore. G2 are probably the best at that execution, although they didn't really show it this weekend. They seem to forget they do that. Basically, the idea is the idea of the smokes are long now. You either go for long control, you just smoke off towards the pit, and you're kind of segregating a player towards that pit area and focusing on him. Then you fall back into more of a default play, wait for the reaction from the CTs, or you get the short control to start, smoking spawn, doing the same smokes but deeper up into towards the A sides, and then you're dropping down. And yeah, we could talk about that all day. My point is there is depth once you get to a solid point as a team. There are executions available.
You can check my YouTube video. I did a bit of babbling about Dust 2 on there, so check that out for some good points on Dust 2.
And how would we find that, Sponge? If I was desperate to find your YouTube channel, where do I go?
I don't know what the URL is.
Oh, you don't actually know what it is?
Google.
Is it like the one that's like KL capital 5?
Yeah, I think
capital 5. What is wrong with me?
Capital 5.
Okay. That was our last points. Quickly though, predictions. Is it safe to assume VP have always been notoriously not very good at Dust 2? It's not been kind of high on their list. Do we lean towards the Swedes again here?
I'm with VP. They're bringing it into their map pool. I think I want to get behind them. I want them to win.
All right.
So
okay.
I'm with VP.
He's keeping it political. How about you? You're going to
sticking with Fnatic.
Yeah, all right.
Got to keep it interesting, right?
Desk is split. Desk is split, and of course, in the interest of time, we would love to talk about that further, but instead, let's just get the game underway. Our second map of the night is about to go down. It's Dust 2 between Fnatic and VP.
Thank you very much, gents. Yes, let's move right on along here to Dust 2, and they kind of teased it at the end. We don't see a lot of this map from VP at all, Lauren.
No, in the last couple of months, I guess like 3 months-ish, you only see it 3 times, but they have won every single time, and including that, there was an IP. Being able to take them down there, not exactly a bad feat at all.
They played at the E-League finals at all?
I think they've played it during E-League. That was the main time. We've seen it once during Pro League, and that was against Dignitas. So again, they picked up wins here. But it's a newer addition to their pool, as kind of hinted on the desk. Whereas Fnatic have been very open, saying, you know what, we're looking at this one. This is one of our building blocks. This is one of our starting positions. We want to get under our belt. And so far they've looked good. This was the Fnatic that, well, this map with this Fnatic started to get people's attention on this map specifically, and obviously a couple of Cash as well was there. But let's see how this goes down. Versus probably on the CT side. He said it would be Fnatic, and went and has all the utility to play with, and Neo's going walkabouts.
The pistol here. Yeah, a lot for Wenton there. Double flash and smoke for him, so interesting to see how that one gets to put to use. While Neo and Pasha are being sort of kept busy here over on short, well, Fnatic are getting in position on long here. Twist doing a great job of keeping them busy, and he gets himself a kill. That's just a bonus on top. The rest of Fnatic now making their way down long. It's a flash, but it's going to be an unnecessary one here. As now Twist, again, trying to harass, trying to keep Pasha busy, but now Fnatic have the site. It's going to have to be VP playing for the retake in a 4v4, but Neo is low.
Yeah, and they don't have any flashes, and Taz and Snax don't have armor. But again, there may not be a bit of a problem here, because already Snax gets off to a flying start, leaps up, hops up and down, and this always makes me nervous these days, because it actually works, which is the more worrying thing. But let's look at Fnatic's off-plant positions there, kind of tucked in on the side still. Dennis, you know, the pistol arrow himself can do as much as he can, but it's not enough to seal the deal. He gets them low, he doesn't take them down, and the defuse will come through.
Interesting stuff there. Neo even going untouched in that little situation. He'll be able to achieve the defuse, and a decent idea for Fnatic. To be fair, their pistol round strats were also relatively interesting on Cobble. The problem is it just fell apart. So VP have won 3 so far, or 3 of 3 pistol rounds in this over these 2 best of 1s here. So again, not ideal for Fnatic, not really a great way for them to start off here. They can have all of the plans and the strats laid down for their T side, but they don't really get to experience or, you know, realize any of those until they get the decent guns in their hands, can actually stack up properly against VP here.
One bonus being they did plan in the first round, so they can buy into the third if needed. Or you know, obviously they can do. And 2 very different sides of VP at the moment. We saw that massive kind of attention towards mid in the first. We had about 3 players there just trying to keep tabs on Twist, essentially. Now a bit more of a default kind of play, and you know, we'll see if this works out. You just want to get, you don't want to get run over by just Glocks or just pistols. You know they're dangerous. We've seen it so often. There's one flash from Went, and he's probably just going to flash him up cap. Smoke can be put down to various spots. Maybe just the little close one could do it down towards CT if they wanted, so they can drop in. It's just the close smoke. They can drop wherever they want, or just try and make a play towards the side. Sadly, the flash didn't catch Snax, so now he's just got a bunch of players just lining up for him. Beautiful work from him there. Gets 3, and they've not really lost out too much. Twist does find Snax, but that means that they can hopefully recover that rifle upgrade, either Bialy or Taz. Be a bit of a loss if it does go down, and they don't actually recover it in the end. They weren't able to shoot it across to them, so they actually do lose out on a rifle there.
How interesting. Fnatic come in, of course. They didn't force round 2 after losing the pistol because they got the bomb down, which means they get that earlier buy in round 3, as Lauren did point out. Still, it's not that great, to be fair. They've got, I mean, a couple smokes to work with here. Flashes for everyone in AKs. So that should be enough for Fnatic to try and make something happen. It might not be the most elaborate execute, but it should be enough. Snax getting chunked down very, very low. And so does Neo. Both of these Vanguards over on long A are being pressured heavily by Fnatic as they come through this smoke.
Yeah, Fnatic just going straight out on long. Just every single player committing out there. That was really nice. Or at least 3 players just full on committed, getting towards just kind of right at the end there, and just try and dig down, dig deep, and just see if anyone would play into their hands. They already have the man advantage. So this is brilliant. VP looking for an answer back, but actually they just get found by Olofmeister, and they're actively searching for ways to get back into this one, and considering it was quite costly in round 2, this is certainly not going too well for them. Their buys could be incredibly shoddy going into the next round off the back of this, because Fnatic are keeping it clean. They, of course, want a bottom plant to really supplement and just kind of complement their money building, but Taz could cause issues, but Dennis is keeping a really good tab on it. Bialy's a little bit in between them all, but the bomb's on Cat, so again, he can be kind of pincered out of this unless he hits some of those blinders that we saw on Cobble.
Twist was the one that actually went back to check mid, and he had the bomb in hand. So Fnatic don't want to really advance until they've dealt with a couple of these players. Bialy goes for the peek there and falls immediately. Taz in mid, looking for a straggler, looking for a player that's basically just set to try and watch, and he rotates, but no one from Fnatic really making themselves shown here. Olaf might be able to get the surprise, but Taz trying to spray down with the P90. It does work out. At least we'll be able to get himself a rifle, but Dennis already coming forward. He doesn't want to give a gun away for free, but Taz able to pick it up just around the corner there. Fantastic 4 style with the long arms. Now I have to back away here in towards lower dark. Dennis not peeking. Taz will sneak away, getting away with it.
Try to think if anyone's close enough to chase. They can still chase fairly well here. He's got to be careful with Dennis.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of time for him to lose out on this, and he does need to keep it to hand, so keeping cautious enough, and there he goes. Dennis will find it in the end, only losing out on Olaf, getting a plant, taking away all those rifles, all those guns from VP is pretty much put in a really bad spot. Their money's now not great. They get that kind of reset instantly. They don't get to build any economy up just yet. So this is going to be upgraded pistols, maybe a touch of utility to build a play into, basically, is all they can really hope for here. But Fnatic, we saw already that their rounds against Eco upsides are pretty robust at the moment. They didn't lose out on too many of those. They never really got caught out too much on Cobble. Let's see if that maintains to be the case. Olofmeister so confident out and long, just not messing around. I love that.
A couple of bullets in his backside there from teammates as Fnatic are trying to set up, and this is a bit more vintage Olofmeister. I won't try and get ahead of ourselves here, as of course there's not much armor here on VP to speak of, but still, confidence for him. He still knows when to turn up the heat when he has to. And Neo will be sat in CT, has the Deagle trying to do something about it, but no, Fnatic turn it around really nicely from losing the pistol into saving the next round, and of course into buying 5 AKs and just smashing VP, only losing 1 player in the third. It's been a very good transition for them, despite losing the pistol.
Yeah, this is, as soon as they regain control, these have been clean rounds as well. That's the important thing to my eyes, is the fact that they're going to build up the money really, really nicely in quite a quick pace. And on the other side, VP are just trying to claw everything together. They do have the AWP on Snacks. He's going to be turning, going anti-flash towards long, tries to peek out and still gets caught out. That's Lekr0. Whether it be olofmeister or Lekr0, it doesn't really matter. Everyone's providing these sort of kills, and the nade even catches Pasha. That is a huge bit of impact. Fnatic sacrificed Dennis, sure, but they gained so much off the back of that.
And olofmeister's up on short there. He's already made his way through mid as byali was more smoked off. We're not able to challenge this. Still, the smoke had come in from Neo. This will make it a little bit more difficult for Olof to challenge in the near future. Neo needs to be careful. He knows people are coming at him from long. He knows he has scant seconds to respond to this. Taz is trying to bail him out of trouble, trying to help him there. Lekr0 falls down after being tagged. Something must have happened there, but their Twist is going to find Neo when olofmeister there bided his time over on short at least and waited. So did byali though. Nice little turnaround here with a 2v2. Twist still needs to pick up the bomb. He can pick that up safely. I must have fallen off one of the ledges or something on really low health.
It doesn't do damage on the A side. I don't know. We'll have to watch you back. Twist has recovered the round. I don't think you... Did he have nades left? I don't know. I want to watch the replay back. Maybe you could catch it in one of the glimpses, because I'm really curious. I don't think there's any way you can fall enough to do damage to yourself from there. That's just
unless
surely
you
not
jump
high
off
enough.
the top of the box on towards like the...
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Can you jump off of like... Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I'm not sure. Why? Why would you do that, though?
Don't know.
I don't know. I'll watch it back, just out of curiosity's sake. Just because that came down to a 1v1. That went from a really favourable situation down to a 1v1. Now Virtus.pro on the upgraded pistol, because again, their economy's just shoddy. And Dennis, these openers Fnatic are providing from several players are massive at the moment. Wherever they go, whether it be the long take, B take, short, doesn't matter. They've always seemingly got someone ready and waiting. Twist even catching one on long there with just the Glock, and Snacks will at least recover something out of this, but not a great deal, actually.
Yeah,
there we go.
This is what you've said, though, about Fnatic's anti-eco rounds. They're very sensible on them a lot of the time here. And they're backing up their entries. They're playing it fairly seriously. Even if they're not maybe setting up their push with a ton of utility, per se, they're still making sure that they don't give away cheap kills to their opponents, which makes it harder for a CT-sided team or a team on the CT side to sort of break back into rounds like that. If they get sort of shut down on their sort of eco rounds or force rounds, as it were, when they're trying to make something happen, super hard to get back in the game after falling behind. So Twist now, looking towards those mid doors, and Pasha a little bit further push forward on towards short here. He gets the trade. And it's Fnatic that'll be happy enough with that one now, as he's going to put a lot of pressure on Neo, as he could be pinched on towards his side 1v3.
They're surrounded on all fronts, but Snacks on a quick flank. That's going to make a bit of a difference here. Now they can focus on long. Lekr0's already got himself up towards the side. Has to be careful of those flames. Doesn't want to go down again, but it's olofmeister to find Neo. And we're back down to a 3v3. So let's see where that bomb's already at. So it's crossed over, and it's going to be going down. I don't think they can particularly stop it. The mollies are coming in, but Twist has just managed to avoid them. Backs out well, smokes up to allow his teammates some more freedom. Maybe a little bit of a waste, but used nonetheless. And the flash will catch Taz, and now the retake begins. Lekr0 already stops it before it starts. Twist holding the angle, a bit of a shoulder peek from byali. Gives him a bit of freedom, and gets the frag too. We're down to 2v2.
Yeah, and now Lekr0 having to spray down through the smoke just to try and keep VP at arm's bay, but it's not going to work. Trades out, and then byali takes down olofmeister. Nice little push here for Fnatic up onto that point. They had plenty of utility, of course. And VP managed to get in with some of those Molotovs and make Fnatic sweat just that bit more. Came down to 1v1 there. byali coming out on top, gets himself an AWP, and that's the in that VP were looking for. Otherwise, failing that round, they would have been struggling. Even now, the money's not very good.
No, certainly not. UMP for Taz. Ugh, not good at all. Against a fully built up Fnatic, you know, everything you'd want sitting on that side, still with like a nice 2k buffer on most of the players.
Can still pretty much spread money over 4 AK buys next round if they lose.
Really, really nice here. And look at this spawn from olofmeister, straight into long, no messing around, loses it. Snacks quicker on the trigger, already had it under wraps, and Pasha's getting aggressive. Virtus.pro aren't taking this laying down. They're going to try and push up here now, keep this advantage building. And, oh my word, beautiful pickup. The timing was just working out well, and even predicting maybe Dennis being here. Pasha, what a round from him. 3 kills, big kills of that, gets the bomb at top mid. Can't make it fall.
You see the difference between VP trying to go for CT aggression when they're behind in the round and when they sort of open up and they start well. So here they're already sort of throwing Fnatic into disarray, and you can see Pasha with the freedom to push up mid and get those 3 kills. Now, a few rounds ago, VP already lost 2 players. Nice by Twist there to find Neo just through the doors. VP falling behind, like a 3v5, and still, you know, getting aggressive in these 1v1s, wanting to take aim duels, wanting to drag themselves, kicking and screaming back into the round. Doesn't work out that way. But this is an excellent position for the Poles, despite Twist a little bit of acrobatics there with the AWP. He will get himself the bomb. That's hardly the issue. It's about getting access to these sites. Pretty much all the
if
routes.
If he kills Bialy, he can get towards A.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to check instantly. No, not quick enough. That's the thing. When we have X-Ray on, when we have the map and all this sort of stuff, and you guys at home have it as well, of course, you can sit there and go, well, if only, why wouldn't you check low? You know, but then there's just as much of a chance that the guy could be up on short. You know, it's simply a gamble, and sometimes you'll get that instinct, sometimes you'll get that feeling, sometimes you have information from prior. But for him, there's 3 players alive, and I have no idea where they are.
And that's not a situation that Fnatic have been in yet in this map, so you can't go like, oh, I know Bialy has a tendency to do this late round. Oh, fail flash there, bouncing back at Fnatic, but still enough goes in the direction of Pasha to force him back for a moment. Just gives him pause though now as he flashes just around the corner. Trades again. Still decent situation for the T side. They're going to get that one less player over on the A side, but they don't press their advantage any further. Nice by Snax. That's very Cajun B-esque, that sort of early little peek towards lower tunnels there just at the start of the round to give yourself a man advantage. Nicely done. A Fnatic are left with 3.
If you're a Fnatic, of course, you would want to exploit the fact that you had a 4v4 on the T side at that point by trying to split them up. So that player being in that pinch position could have been huge for them. That being taken down from Snax frees them up. So now Virtus Pro can just sit 2-2 on either side. They could choose to do it another way, but that's what they've gone for here. Neo towards Cat, Snax towards maybe Goose a little more than anything. Olofmeister gets reminded. Yeah, pretty much. He's getting the info pretty much there. It's just, I'm going to have to sacrifice something. Either I take the full peek and get every bit of info, or do I just shoulder peek, maybe take some damage and just find out where they are. So it's going to be the B hit coming through. You've got Taz playing in that close left corner. And actually with the pop flash, that can still do work. Set up Bialy, who has the molly, the smoke, and the other flashes. So even all the mollies can start reaching right about now. He doesn't actually flash out. There's a team flash coming through for him. He did do damage, but it's not enough. Look at Olofmeister. The power this man is providing so far with the others as well is bringing Fnatic back into this round.
And I like this, actually. Fnatic just leave Dennis, allow him to cross towards the side. The rest of them, they pull back. Olof's going to have to wrap fairly quickly here from mid, so he needs to hope his teammates, yep, perfect. Smoke down now. This is going to give Olofmeister some time to wrap through without having to run and make too much sound and maybe wake the dead in that regard. Just perfect setup there for Fnatic. By enough time, Neo's left on his own. The site was got 2 players on there, canvassed out. A very good way to break back in here for Fnatic after a little bit of an unfortunate one. And VP, their economy is shattered yet again. They just haven't been able to stabilize whatsoever. It is that CT-sided economy, which can be a bit of a nightmare if you don't manage it well. And Fnatic break back in around like that really nicely. Olof, excellent entry to that B site, those first couple of kills. But Taz was preempted out of his little hidey hole there, unfortunately, with the UMP. There's only so much you can do when there's a molly at your feet.
Dangerous game in mid there, crossing back and forth.
Bialy's just trolling him, I'm not sure.
Teasing them at this point, and Dennis, gotta be a little careful. There is one Deagle up there that could certainly do the work, but Pasha's so desperate for that CT aggression. You could see him pushing up Cap before pushing up Long. He's only got the CZ and the upgraded pistol, so why not try and make something happen? It's all about, I guess, gambits at this point, and the big old nade from Lake Road is going to find his feet. But yeah, it's all about that kind of making a play happen, because you can't just sit back and wait for it, obviously, on these sort of rounds. You've got to try something, and a little bit of a crossfire in mid, just, locking down a couple of angles. And so far, Fnatic keeping it very clean. This is something that, again, I'm very, very impressed with. That flash was just not deep enough. Didn't get punished for it, but still. Bialy's going to fall back, find a new position. And Fnatic just keep chipping away at Virtus Pro. Yeah,
there are a series of aggressive plays and crossfires trying to be set up, or Virtus Pro are trying to set them up here at the moment. None of them have worked out thus far. You could see that Fnatic breezed through mid fairly comfortably, even though Snax, I think it was able to get away with it or escape from that one. Now finds himself here with just that CZ in a spot where he can sort of jump up and get one of those sort of freak headshots or cause problems, but you can see Lekro purposely sitting back now as well in a good position to catch him off. And we'll be Taz. 3 players here for VP trying to work in from CT. There it is. Snax finds that headshot we were just talking about. Now it's Taz's turn to step up, but he does. He gets the deagle in there, but Lekro finally deciding that he's had enough of this nonsense. Bialy able to pick up a deagle from the fallen body of Taz, but that's a very tough angle to make it work with Olof moving across there, and Snax will try and challenge with the CZ up close. Lekro purely just going to jump down, allow Olofmeister to step forward and take the shot. He definitely doing a bit more heavy lifting in this map. And Fnatic, not as clean as I would have liked it to be. But Virtus Pro not getting too much done with the group in towards CT with the pistols there.
No, and their money's still complete trash. Look at this. Famas is having to come through, limited amounts to play with, no kit. Really far from perfect. They at least have the AWP, I guess, on Snax, but any early deficit is a bit grim. Snax is looking for a way back into this. Oh, can't quite hit the shot through the barrel. It's right in the middle there. It's Wenton, I'm pretty sure, up there, just kind of cowering, trying to cling on to his life. He does manage to make it away eventually, but a little bit of a dangerous start there. Could have been a big pickup for Virtus Pro, but wasn't to be the case. Now, at the moment, Fnatic still have all of those mollies to put to these corners, so this could be a slow one.
You see Fnatic now very much just grouping towards Longhouse. We saw Pasha here last round aggressing from the CT side with that CZ hoping to get something done before getting naded and scattered across to the 4 wins. So yeah, Fnatic maybe trying to figure out exactly what VP have as well gun-wise, because this is a little bit of a weird one with double FAMAS coming in and limited utility for the poles. They have no smokes left. So after this salvo of those sort of billows out and blows out, and that's going to be it for VP in terms of stall mechanics, essentially. As Olofmeister there as well manages to take that fight. I believe that was in towards lower dark, so that was Snax getting picked up around mid here, but Patch is going to be ready to receive here on short. Nice work. Shuts down 2 players. The molly went over his left shoulder, so he was able to stand ahead of that and make it work. Olof goes in for a peek, gets information, sees 2 players, backs away, waiting for a bit of CT aggression. He knows that Patch is the kind of player that's going to provide that kind of thing, but it doesn't matter. Neo comes forward. It's a 2-man setup going into this salvo, and Twist falls there to the USP of Pasha. It's a bloody brawl over here on short, but VP come out on top, and now Lekr0 with it all to do in a 1v3, and Pasha is picked himself up an AWP, and the bomb is just in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely relentless on shore there to make something happen, but Lekr0 now pulls it back. Now, this nade can do work. If that finds Pasha...
Oh, peace. What? Oh, okay, right. Taz picks Lekr0 there as he jumps down.
Oh, if that had hit. That could have been deadly. But no, Pasha there being, again, the redeeming factor for Virtus.pro to my eyes. His aggression, his work on Cat has been lovely. He had the support from Neo there that time, so both of them were able to kind of work off each other, but he's been making plays, and you know, it's tricky to make plays on this map on the CT side. It's not an easy one. It's very, very tough, especially when you're behind. You don't have that full utility to put into place to allow yourself that little bit of an unlock. But now I can see Neo on the double AWP here with Snax. So again, a little bit of a difference here, but Virtus.pro finally have some money to play with.
Fnatic still come to the round with a reasonable amount of utility to put to their use. I guess they actually didn't get to use most of it last round because they got completely roadblocked there on towards short by Pasha and Neo coming with the double peak scenario. Twist now on lower dark, not seeing anything on towards short there. Wenton's already gone ahead to find it. Flash came in over the top by byali or Neo, whichever it was who are watching mid right now. byali still has a FAMAS there, so wasn't able to upgrade that via the last round. And that bomb slowly in the hands of Olofmeister on to the right of your screen there if you're looking at Neo. So he will make his way down in towards mid, and also Wenton is converging. Couple flashes here, so obviously very, very easy for Fnatic to pop flash this and try and push on towards Neo. byali's not going to be there to help him, so Neo ideally wants to make himself scarce. He throws the smoke in. We'll have to see if this deters Fnatic or not, as it doesn't seem to be the case. Neo doesn't want to overstay his welcome, but also wants to get information about what's happening on short and even a peek. So Wenton keeps himself out of range. There comes the pop flash in now. Neo, yep, good idea. Just going to back away here to the boxes. So Fnatic incrementally makes some ground here, just bit by bit. Now Neo can peek, gets on towards Wenton. That's a good start, but no one else forthcoming. Now shot through the door, and he just gets completely filled with shards of wood, even as those bullets were coming through the woodwork. It's going to be Lekr0 to find byali, and now Taz. Oh, it's our favourite cast spot from the man. 2 kills for him, and finally shut down by Lekr0. So Fnatic haven't even planted the bomb yet. That was left in the open. Dennis was forced to go and pick it up.
The big damage from the nade going to come through, just making a little bit of a situation worse there for Twist, but Pasha's got a really nice angle. I think he had almost a little bit of a glimpse of Twist then. Just the back turn, but now position now noted. This surely can't work out. He's been providing wonderful plays so far, but not against an AWP and a pre-positioned rifle in the hands of Twist. Not going to be happening. So, Fnatic do just about edge forward, 7-5. They stabilize, and now Virtus.pro have to deal with those repercussions. As you said, it's a punishing mistress, the CT side. You know, when you build up the money, it's a glorious time to be alive.
I find it very stressful playing CT side on this map.
Especially Dust 2. I don't know what it is about the map, but I find it so hard to implement or, you know, work around those lesser buys. I feel it's so tricky, even on the upgraded pistols, to make it happen. But you're seeing it here again now. Before, it was quite brute forcey from Fnatic, just kind of taking themselves into sight. We're seeing again, gorgeous stuff from Twist. I have been consistently impressed with this man as to what he's been doing, and Snax gets spotted out as well. Cool gets put over towards Dennis. Olof waits towards Long, and you're just seeing the veterans going back and forth there.
So one of the biggest things you need in an anti-eco situation like this, especially against Tease, is patience. Right? Normally, you're told, and you know your mindset is to get aggressive and try and push in towards sites and be strong and take action, of course, and set things up on sites with a bit of utility, but. And around like that, you can see people like Olofmeister sitting behind Longhouse, waiting for the push to come to him, waiting. And Virtus.pro always seeming to provide some of that aggression. Obviously, they're a team that likes a bit of that CT aggression, especially early in the round. And when they're on pistols, they're going to try even more. But it's CT side. It's a punishing mistress, and it's also a double eco for the Poles.
Yeah, a bit of a stack at long this time for them. Not a bad idea. Fnatic have been going there on quite a regular basis. The nades don't really work out too well, and Wentz now flashed them up. He does spot out one just above the fire and the flames there, but can he find the rest? There's still 2 players in the smoke, but he has the support from Twist. Now, Twist has kept this in check, but will they expect Neo? Surely not. Neo's right behind him. He does get the deal. Oh, and he follows it up so perfectly towards Wenton. That's changed this. That could have made a big impact if maybe Taz found one, but it's not the case. The bomb's at B, and this is all but done. But Neo just showing some real nice class there for himself.
Good moment from him. In fact, he didn't even know that Wenton was in the pit, because as Wenton crossed over the ledge, dropped into pit, I mean, Neo was flash, and there was smoke in his way as well. Very intricate setup by VP there as well to try and give themselves a fighting chance in that one. So many flashes coming in from Fnatic as well. It was very, very hard for them to actually get anything done whatsoever. So if you're Neo, you're satisfied with grabbing an AK here.
Yep.
5 rounds here on the CT side. It's not bad for VP. Obviously, after having to go for pistols and then a pistol force in this round with a bit of utility to back it up, that's kind of where you want to get the round here. But VP have to be satisfied with sort of waiting, being patient, and buying up on the next. And it still won't be the best buy either. We'll have a little bit, but I think the least, yes, 43.50 for a Pasha here. So it's okay. We know how expensive those M4s can be to get your hands on, though. And you can see what kind of money is being expended in that regard. So Neo is going to be stuck with a deal here, as he did. I think he passed an M4 over to Pasha here. No, he's got a saved AK. It's fine.
That's not too bad.
Oh, God.
The Dak's out.
Get back, son. I mean, that is the quintessential.
Great.
That's how you counter a player with a Dak, or as we like to call it, the auto sniper rifle. I mean, it takes 2 shots obviously to kill with that auto sniper. 1 headshot or 1 shot with an AWP can counter it out. So, if you guys are playing in them,
that's really awkward. It's that horrible exchange where you're like, I've got my nade out, he's going to repeat.
This happens to Pasha so much today. Yeah. Tonight especially, he's actually often being caught with weird timings while he has a grenade in his hand. It's just kind of, I don't blame him, it's kind of really unfortunate, if I'm honest. Anyway, Bialy picks up Wenton as he tries to pressure in through the mid, and the bomb's going B via backyard. It was Twist that was carrying it. But in the meantime, Twist comes to the site and realizes it's only Dennis there to help him. It's 2 AWPs now that has to make the entry, and Tad's very classy. Just a couple taps there with the M4. And just to finish off there on towards Dennis, bravely faces down 2 players with AWPs and gives Virtus.pro that 6th round in the half. Not a terrible note to finish on here. If VP can find that killer edge, the killer instinct on the T side, they'll be fine.
The one thing I would say is that if you remove away the amount of pistols won by Virtus.pro, this would be a very different looking game, I'd feel. At least scoreline wise. Again, second half could be completely different depending on that start.
At least in this case, I mean, it wasn't that Virtus.pro got 3 rounds.
They went 2 and, yeah.
Still not good. So this is a pistol round now that Fnatic really do want to win. Let's see though if VP can keep pushing him out. A pistol for VP will make things even Stevens after the break. We'll see you when we return for the second half of Dust 2. Well, it was a hard-fought pistol round that gave Virtus Pro the peek into this game, but very quickly, Fnatic turned things on their head, messing with the Pulse budget on the CT side quite a lot early on, and VP had to scrape things out to a 6-9 round half-time. Now, VP going towards the T side here, and we're looking, obviously, to see what Fnatic can do. Pistol rounds, ever so important by this part of the night. It's become a bit of a theme. You've got Dennis. You've lost 3 so far out of 3 pistol rounds. We'd like to see maybe Fnatic get one there as well. And that would put him in a very dominant position here.
Massively so. It feels like such a common thing that we've been saying throughout this, how important they are. But these games, honestly, are getting so much closer because of just 0 pistol round wins, really, for Fnatic. They need to pick it up. And, as you said, when you have a player like Dennis available to you, it's surprising to not see him having that big impact. He's not really been there in the pistols just yet. He's had pistol moments, don't get me wrong. There's been a couple of crazy CZs here and there, but there's not been that impact in that moment. So for me, I want to see that happen for him. Hopefully we get to see a bit of a competitive game, make Virtus Pro play those gun rounds out, because this looks far more competitive to me than Cobble did.
We're liking to see those moments of some aggression from Virtus Pro here. Generally at the start of the round, it's quite nice to see, but Pasha coming up mid there once the initial advantage had been eked out for Virtus Pro, enabled him to get 3 kills and really set Fnatic rolling. But despite this, Fnatic putting together a couple chains of rounds here and there to give them 9 overall. And it all started, of course, with sort of messing with Virtus Pro's flow in those first couple rounds. So let's see how this all plays out. 10 seconds coming into this one. Of course, we'll be back on with a pistol. I mean, so far this game, olofmeister, again, up to his old tricks, but Twist with 19 frags from the half. Definitely worth a mention. We're seeing some really nice individual moments again. I just want to... What's that?
Where's Wenton been?
It's been quiet for him. Yeah, and we talked to Henry on the desk. He says, coaching and IGLing and having a low score is a bit of a cop-out, he says. It's not much of an excuse, so we need to see more from Wenton, even if he is being groomed to be the IGL here.
I hate the phrasing of being groomed. It doesn't have any positive sort of intentions in my mind.
If you groom a cat, you comb the fur, put a bow in the hair, or whatever.
Bows in your cat. All right. Let's move on, because I want to make some terrible jokes that just will.
I was on that one. I was on that one.
I won't even be near New York at this point, but so far this is byali's round. This is 4 kills, right? Now, it started off being like, okay, he's got a couple of kills. He's got the ace. What is that? Can we just appreciate where that just came from? Because he just, individually picked apart a kind of default play from Fnatic. It's just like, can Fnatic ever win a pistol now? It just doesn't seem like they can.
Well, not today. I mean, and you know what? So many times we watch Flipside. This is a good example. Who are a team, in my opinion, who have stupid amounts of potential, but they lose a lot of games. And we sit at the desk, and we're like, yeah, well, didn't win any pistol, did they? That's kind of why they lost. And yet, Fnatic are still ahead. They won their first map, although it was close. But this is where Virtus Pro get back to 9-9 at the least here. Very, very much so. I mean, we're forcing deagles here for Fnatic. Of course, they're sick of this nonsense of having to play from behind every single half. Or at least it feels that way for them now, being obviously not well armed. So they're going to go into this one, and VP want to work down long. We've got Pasha up the front there with the P90. There's not going to be anyone attending here for Fnatic, and now the smoke comes in. They're going to get access to this site quite easily.
Yeah, almost all players going towards the side self as well. byali's up there, runs up there. Taz just holding back by the cars, and Dennis looking for some of that magic. He's getting absolutely nothing here. Virtus Pro being the brick wall facing them. Not a single frag to be picked up just yet, and there it is. Finally, olofmeister cracks things back, possibly for Fnatic, but no kit, nothing much more. They do recover a rifle, which is actually lovely, but for Virtus Pro, this is exactly what they need. Build up well, keep clean numbers, chase them down, get that rifle away, everything they want here. Neo's got the MAC-10, you've got a P90 on Pasha. He can run that into the 3rd round really nicely. I know he likes to play with it as well, so not too surprising. Snacks with the UMP, they can afford to go hunting somewhat. Not really opting to go too far here, not going into the jaws of what Fnatic could have.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably still having, sort of flashbacks to the first half there where they gave Fnatic an opening, and Fnatic obviously able to scavenge most of their weapons in the 3rd round, I believe it was, after saving for just pistols and actually being able to buy up because they got the first plant. So VP would like a smoother transition here because they don't really want to self-sabotage this attempt to bring in the scores even. And Fnatic, it's so funny about Fnatic, they play their anti-eco so well. Like Virtus Pro, at no stage were they able to take Fnatic by surprise on these half-buys or forces or pistol rounds at all. Fnatic were like, no, we're not letting you get in here. But I'm giving over these pistols already puts them behind the 8 ball. And Fnatic's gun rounds were also very, very good. So now VP Don't want to give them any opportunities because we know what they can do with it. Snacks though, nice little moment there with the UMP.
Control.
Bit of money made as well, no less. And Olive behind the smoke, there's a gap, there's an AK in his hands. There's a spray down on towards Snaps, he does connect it. And Lekr there getting involved with the pistols. This is exactly what Virtus.pro didn't want to happen. But they've got two players make it one because Lekr still making things happen there. That was over through the mid. I don't know how he picked that shot up. And now Dennis hoping to emulate the efforts of his teammate here, just dancing.
Barrel dance,
Taz,
apparently.
please.
Taz, just hit the shot, my man. Hit the shot. This is the time you need to provide it and deliver. Lekr's got a Mac 10. You should win this. You have 31 HP, sure, it's not great. That smoke's dissipating. Where do you think he is now, Taz? Work it out. Here we go. Check CT, but he doesn't check Cat. He made his choice. It was a 50-50 almost at that point, but Lekr was waiting on Catwalk, gets the kill, and they turn it on its head. And off the back of that kind of extended fight with Olofmeister, everyone else capitalized on that at the same time, getting a couple of frags off the back, and that horrific battle over by Long by the barrel just didn't work out.
And this is why I talked about self-sabotage, right? Virtus.pro didn't want to do that, but Lekr gets I don't know how many Deagle kills straight up mid there, despite Dennis having his own problems with it. Around for Fnatic here is just far more than you expect. And the fact that they come out of this with double AWP straight into the mix, whereas Bialy's only got a Tech 9, there was Virtus.pro's window. It was wide open. They were there. They were ready to make the jump, but Fnatic just hold on now.
Ooh, nice.
Good timing. Twist throwing a HC there, if I'm not mistaken.
And even just Virtus.pro's approach then, trying to play ahead of the mid-smokes, but Dennis and Olofmeister are both here. This is worrying, both watching this cross, should I say. It's Lekr on B with Olofmeister, not at the same site, of course. But the great pop flash will make them just be hindered. They can't approach the site anymore. They're caught up by the smoke, and Lekr just giving us a masterclass of how to play around the smoke. He's trying to get the spam shot just on towards the box, but sadly, Virtus.pro were no longer there. Taz and Pasha already pushed off, playing a little bit of ground combat on this one. Not going to find much more there. Olofmeister can't hit the shot on the cross, and they do make it through. Taz going to try and plant, but it's a 2v3, and Pasha's got a lot to watch here if they want to get this one done.
Taz just needs to behave himself here, not force himself through this one. Actually, not too bad. Taz trades himself into a 1v1. Now, not really sure. I mean, he knows Dennis is there. He looks towards tunnels, maybe not realizing that he's actually in the 1v1 situation. Oh, he had to set that up so much better, but Dennis comes around and picks him off just as he was
drunk. It was just like casually looking around.
Why was he looking in towards tunnels? Didn't he know? He must not have known he was in a 1v1 already.
Oh man, okay, so you know how long it takes normally for a flash to pop, right? So for him, he obviously considered that as a pop flash coming in, or a flash of any variety, right? But it was bounding off like 4 walls. It was just like, I'm just going to look around and hope for the best. Like, what's going on, Taz? He's having a mare of a game. Like, he's actually not doing bad scoreboard-wise, but the last couple of rounds, oof, not pretty, not pretty. But still, they're still in this game, 11-8. The money, not good, though. That's a big deficit now. Now they're in a bit of a pickle. They need to get a bomb plant. They need to really start building back here. But Twist, look at the money he's about to be making here. This is brilliant stuff. All denied as soon as they stepped in front of that smoke, and Fnatic get another on the board. Virtus.pro, where have you gone? Come on, you've got to build back into this. They know they can. They've got some incredible power. They've been showing it so far. Individuals has had moments. Where's the Pasha from the CT side? The aggressive, incredibly powerful Pasha that we saw coming up. Cat every now and then. I want to see that back here, because so far they've been giving an absolute schooling by Fnatic.
Well, VP can't even get bomb plants as well. That was what they were hoping for last round. And to be fair, I mean, on that, if you think back to the pistol round as well, they had such good side control because there was no one challenging them at long, but this time they go forward short and they are just mowed down by UMPs, and Twist is going to keep that one. This is fair enough to bring it into this round, build up a little bit of a buffer here. If Fnatic keep going, they'll be able to buy for the rest of the game if that's going to be them winning out. Wenton not being challenged here towards long. It's going to be Snacks and Taz grouped up towards mid, and the closest player is Twist, who only has a UMP and doesn't really look to challenge right now, so patient play from him. 3 players from VP moving on towards short. It will be Dennis, the only one to receive, because Wenton is actually still out towards long house or close to it. So Dennis will have to hold his own for at least 5 to 7 seconds.
Yeah, this is actually really hard to hold on your own. For me, I'd prefer maybe an AWPer to be playing it by the cars. It's just personal preference from what I enjoy watching, but Dennis is incredibly good at this. And obviously, as you said, you know, if Wenton pulls himself up from long, he can certainly support here as well. But surely the plan will be up soon. Twist isn't that close either. He can go on a long flank or come into CT, but here comes the hit. And Virtus.pro have a good shot at this. This is the thing. Dennis is still very much alone, but he finds a brilliant angle, spots the bomb, drops it out of Pasha's hands, and now has 4 players slowly but surely encroaching. Another great flash comes in. Dennis gets set up for more, and now we're down to 2. Virtus.pro get worked away at by Fnatic in sheer power. And now Snack Shaw has made it look close, but he's only got 7 HP.
Yeah, one more ticket that Molotov would have done him in. It's going to be Lekr in CT, and Olofmeister going to wrap around from long. No bomb planted here as well, even worse for Virtus.pro. Dennis, I mean, you didn't have to go out there like, you know, Spartacus and kill everyone. He just played for time so well. Olof gets the finish on towards Snax through the box, and you can see one flash out, bought him a few seconds. Virtus Pro had to wait. He had the second in his hand, and then he saw some of Virtus Pro's utility coming in over the top. He makes himself scarce. He picks only the right side of the box. Only once Virtus Pro are fully committed to this A side. He wasn't firing towards short. He was firing across the A side as Virtus Pro had already made their way up there. And a additional flash coming in from a teammate, I believe, or
Probably
maybe it was a HE. Yeah, really helped him just get that one done. Just impressive. That's how you hold your nerve in pressure situations.
Yeah, it really is, actually, to be honest. It's just showing his class again. This is one of the greats here. That's the point. He's such an experienced player, but Twist now can be creating the crossfire. You can see Olofmeister waiting, baiting them in, making them walk through the blender in mid, and now Snax has nothing, and he goes down.
I know, this is pretty sick from Fnatic, especially on an individual level there. Wenta really played his part in the previous round, and I'm happy on it. Yeah, he's 4-17, but again, I'm not really too worried about his performance in that regard at all, because a lot of Fnatic's strats are orchestrated not around him, and as other players, as spearheads. You know, Dennis to receive pushes, to bend like a sapling and snap back in the face of VP as they try and push.
Yeah, how many plays have we seen directly towards Long here? Not too many. So again, he's not had much play yet on the CT side. There's been other players greeting them very quickly.
Sure.
But now, as I think we've just spotted there, double up on the T side. Snax and Pasha running this. I guess when you're back still, you've got to bring out something.
I feel like this pace, oh, well, maybe not in this case. The totem pole of Orpness there is going to pick up Olofmeister, but I don't know, I feel like this pace has suited Fnatic thus far. Players like Dennis very sort of, you know, settled in the way that they receive these pushes, but Molotov's coming out on the B side there. Snax with the AWP finds on towards Twist as well. This is excellent. I mean, you're supposed to get picks and work from the outsides of sides here, not just blunder your way down the middle and get those kills. Incredible stuff here. All players making it happen. But Dennis now might just be fed up with this nonsense. He comes through the mid, picks up Taz, and still Snax and Pasha are still working towards mid or looking for an opportunity there. VP have a lot of map control, and with their smokes on short, they can sort of rest easy. No one's going to go for aggressive picks on them, or at least it's not likely anyway.
Yeah, this is so hard for Fnatic to hold on to. Virtus have the numbers advantage. They have everything they need to in this, in theory, to just build this round up. This should be, you know, not one and done necessarily, but it should be in the bag. 4 players against 3. They already have players up cat. Snax is waiting, just praying that Lekr0 would dare go for it. Now, who's that on A? So it's actually going to be Wenton. So, oh, and the timing's not going too well. Oh my god, he still gets it, Pasha? Didn't expect that, and now Wenton's making up for a very quiet performance so far. 2 big kills, spots out where they're coming from. Quick flash towards CT, blinds up Dennis, but it's down to a 2v2. Snax already low. Can be tricky, but he's got the AWP and he's got the bombs. He needs to be one to plant this. Neo has to play the babysitting role, keep him safe while he does this, pretty much. Playing from the cars, waiting for the push-up, and bomb is down.
There are kits available for both Fnatic players here, but look at this aggression going towards CT. What are you doing? Snax goes for it there. Tries to make something big happen, but the hero play gets thrown back in his face, and that was where Virtus Pro could have shut things down. They could have tried to pacify Fnatic, starting to build up. But no, it's going to be Dennis straight up towards the bomb site, proud as a peacock to get the defuse and put Fnatic on match point.
That was...
What?
Sometimes you got to make big plays, Mitch. But that was probably not the time. I'll just bang it down to CT with my AWP. All right?
Okay, like seriously, is that like a lack of information players? Like know. Maybe I could go CT and control because he's got a player on long. So if you're doing this, you must surely think, oh, they can only come from short.
It, but
okay.
Still.
Did he expect 2 plays there as well? Because it's reasonable to think 1 short, 1 CT in that case.
Does Lekr0 have an AUG?
Because he's probably throwing it back in Neo's face, actually. Remember that phase where Neo could play in the AUG? I remember so many Overpass games where we played that, and it was disgusting because it worked, but it's like, hey, Neo, are you mad? You can't even afford this, bro. my Gucci AUG. What you got?
I hate the AUG. The thing is, it does have viable positions, and it is... You know those people who can do the analysis breakdown of why it's viable? It can be kind of explained, but I still don't like it. Anyway, Dennis and Olof both back on the AWPs here. We do have that short play seemingly coming out again, but this time, I don't see it going so well, or about the same as it went before, if I'm completely honest.
Let's be real. The AUGs for COD players transitioning over towards CS. That's really what it's for.
It's really not.
And eventually they learn.
We don't do that.
Well, I mean, speak for yourself, but...
I do.
You're going to have to in this case, given the disparity between our skill levels at Counter-Strike. However, Dennis now, again, like, his patience here is just really putting himself in such good
How did that
situations, but
hit?
he's spoiled for choice. That's the problem. He gets Neo at the very least now on a smash. I guess a flash going out on towards Bialy. Going to slow him up on towards the side. Dennis doesn't care. He is the menace of your Nightmares and gets a little tag on, and that's going to be Fnatic. Wrap it up in a pink bow instead of back to Poland. Nicely done there. A much more convincing finish on Dust too than what we saw on that previous map. Patient play pays dividends, and Fnatic taking it all the way to the bank.
Yeah, for me, my eyes were set towards Dennis throughout that game, and sure, he didn't live up to the Pistolero title he gets given a lot of the times, but outside of that, on the buy rounds, on the AWPs, you know, whatever he had, he made it work really, really well, and he was able to lock down that site on the CT side so comfortably with just, you know, that minimal spot coming from Wenton, the really nice flashings, good timing off the back, really nice little crossfires. It was just really enjoyable to watch, and sadly for VP, you know, I wanted to see more from that match, if I'm completely honest.
Yes, I mean, the thing is, no pistols won for Fnatic reflects kind of badly on them, but also even worse on VP because they get that advantage, they get the momentum running at the start of the map and aren't able to do anything with it. Their gun rounds seem to be lacking, and on an individual level, you did point out there were some streakiness displayed from some of these players here where they were hot and cold a few times. We saw a moment from Pasha, still waiting for the return to the vintage Pasha, but we will still be waiting for that one. Now let's go over towards the desk as Alex and Co break it down a little bit more for us.
Perfect stuff. Thank you very much, Pansy and Uber. Indeed, let's try and expand upon the points they were making at the caster desk just to start us off. They were suggesting that despite not winning a single pistol, Fnatic come away with 2-0. Of course, that's VP conceding 2 additional losses, now putting them, I think that's 5 and 7 or 8. In fact, I had it in front of me.
I think you're correct there.
Yes, okay, so they were 5 and 6 prior to this. So 2 losses for them. Conceding all the pistol rounds, Fnatic still picking up the win. Much more convincing on Dust 2, Chad. I mean, this has been a bit of a... I don't want to say we've been rude about VP, but off air we have had a lot of criticism towards the Polish side over these last 2 matches.
It looked like they wanted to get that game over and done with real quick. With the ecos, they're all just running in together. I know people say, oh, you spread out too much in ecos and stuff, but they were just like 5-man rushing until everyone was dead. Like, I don't know what was going on.
No structure. But I mean, even with weapons in their hands, like we weren't necessarily impressed by some of their executes.
No, when they did the A execute, Henry was saying that they didn't even do it right. The first time we saw them do it, they didn't drop that man down to CT. When we saw them do it then against Dennis and he just kept flicking him with the AWP, didn't work so well for him either. But they went 5 guys across the bridge into the site and they just got mopped up. And
yeah,
you know,
so that's basically the tactic I was describing in that long segment. I'm not going to do it again, but I'm just going to say to you, but obviously you can see how that works, right? You're supposed to go drop a guy down and then the person on the ramp, he's got no actual control of the situation to spray 2 or 3 people down, like was exactly what happened. So you have the guy coming in, the flashes are going over, and while the CT's flash, the guy runs CT spawn and kills him. That's how that XQ does it. Pretty much every top team has that tactic, and they're doing it, like Chad said, 5 people across the site, and that makes it so much easier to handle. You can drop a couple of flashes in the same position, Molotov before another bomb site, and stuff like that, and it seems like VP just haven't got things together on that map as of yet. They keep saying they're going to bring it into the map pool, but these kind of performances, you're winning both pistols, you're only picking up 8 rounds, and you look streaky on the T side, and you can't even execute your tactics efficiently. For me, they've got a lot more work to do to finish it off.
Can you, in any way, theory craft and explain what Snax was going for with that AWP leak
last
to
round?
CT?
Yeah.
Casters was so confused. I mean,
Okay, so my theory, he didn't really agree with that.
I think we might have the replay to show you guys. Okay, is this the one? No, this was just Dennis clearing
This is
up.
when they did the execute and it was wrong.
So basically, right, he had 2 HP or something like that. It's a 2v1. It's a 2-on-2, right? And he jumps down to CT spawn. In my head, he's trying to get that 1 kill. He just wants to get 1 kill, do something completely surprising that no one expects.
Sure.
You go down there, bang 1 person out the bottom, and then it's like 1v1, and Neo's got a high chance of winning that round, right? You've got the advantage of the bomb, which some people consider an extra man available in the situation, right? So he's thinking, well, they might be coming from short. If they just get 1 bullet on me, I'm down, so I'm going to flash in and just try and do the crazy play. Okay. It looks hard. If he got 1 kill, we'd be probably wouldn't have this discussion. He probably wouldn't the round. But the fact is, he died. It looks crazy, right? It looks ridiculous. Let's have a look at this right now. So he's got what? So 9 HP. So he's 1 bullet dead. He has no idea the CTs are coming from short. It's crazy. But if he goes down there and gets 1 kill, it's actually quite unlikely both CTs are going to be in that same position, to be fair, in a retake. But I don't know. That's the only way I can justify. I'm not saying that's why I did it. That's the only reasoning I come up with my
down,
head.
you have an AWP. You planted for short. Were you planned for short? No, okay, he didn't necessarily do that. So maybe he was scared to cross long. I mean, Chad,
it was a low percentage play.
Okay.
Like it was already on 14 rounds, right, for Fnatic. So it was a 2v2. It was a good chance, to potentially turn the tide at the half. And he's going, I'm going to jump into City Spawn with an AWP, and hopefully I get lucky.
Sure.
That was
that's pretty much it. But like, I'm just trying to give some reasoning behind his thought process, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So it does seem like kind of Virtus.pro were throwing caution to the wind then towards the end of Dust 2.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Yeah. we struggle to see too much depth from the Polish side. It does seem like that is all we have to say. We often have a lot more to say, but it does seem like Virtus.pro kind of left us wanting more. And if you want more, you can get all that information over at the Score Esports application. Grab it on your smartphone. You know the drill by now. It's got your news, your articles, and your stats. If you do want to see who was performing, Wenton going from top to bottom, from Cobble to Dust 2. He was having a bit of an up and down performance, hot and cold. Katy Perry style. We'll be back after the break with another set of games. You get G2. They're going to be battling Dignitas after that one, so be intrigued to see how G2 do perform. After, I mean, they've been singing the praises of Body. We'll see if he can go ahead and fill up the stats after the break.